All right, so this is a guide to help you with your introduction paragraphs for your To Kill a Mockingbird and Historical Connection paper. Okay, so what do you want to do in an introduction? So you want to introduce your topic and your thesis to the reader, like just kind of give them a sense of what the whole essay is going to be about. Also, you want to engage your reader. You want to hook them in, get them interested in what you're about to write. So when do you want to write an introduction? So you can write it before or after you've written the body paragraphs, but it's often easier to write after writing the body paragraphs. So the structure of an introduction paragraph. You should think of an upside down triangle because you're going from broad to narrow. You're starting broadly with the general topic of your essay, and then you're narrowing down to something very specific, your thesis statement. So the three parts of an intro paragraph. The first part is the hook. That is where you grab the reader's attention and hook them in. Think of a hook. Then there's the context. That's the roadmap from the hook to the thesis. How do we get from this broad hook to our specific thesis statement? And then last is the thesis statement, the sentence summarizing what your essay will be about. The steps of writing an intro paragraph. So step 1 is to figure out the topic of the essay. Step 2 is to plan and write the hook based on the topic. So you can look at all the different types of hooks that you can do and choose a hook type to write about the topic. Step 3 is to write context that connects the hook to the thesis statement, and then step 4 is to put it all together. Okay, so let's look step by step. So the first step is figure out the topic of the essay. You want to look at your thesis statement and then sum up the topic of the thesis statement in a few words. So if you remember when we were learning about main idea, you always want to first address the topic, and that's usually going to be 1 to 3 words what your text is about. Okay, so let's look at my thesis statement. The characterization of Miss Maudie versus Mr. Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird reflects different approaches to religion in the South during the Great Depression. So now I need to think about what's my topic. What is this thesis statement about in 1 to 3 words? So we could say it's about religion or To Kill a Mockingbird. Either of those would work as a topic. For this example of an intro paragraph, we're going to focus on religion as our topic. Okay. So step 2 is to plan and write the hook based on the topic. So we're going to look at all the different kinds of hooks, and you want to think about which one you can use to hook your reader in, and also that would smoothly lead to your thesis statement. Okay, so our topic is religion again. All right, so let's look at the different possible hooks. So one is a quote. You can have a quote about the topic by someone famous, someone you know in real life, or from a movie, TV show, song. If there's a line from a movie or a song that you really like that relates to your topic, go for it. So again, our topic is religion. So here's a quote by Helen Keller that might work. It is wonderful how much time good people spend fighting with the devil. If they would only expend the same amount of energy loving their fellow men, the devil would die in his own tracks of ennui. Another quote I could have by someone I know in real life is, for example, "We know God through both joy and pain," my priest once said. Okay. So that would be an example of a quote as a hook. Another type of hook is a definition. You just give a definition of the main topic. Okay. Again, our topic is religion, so I could have religion is defined as a set of beliefs and practices in worship of a god or gods. Next is an interesting question or series of questions about the topic. Again, our topic is religion, so an example of a question hook could be, how can religion help us find peace of mind? If I start my essay with that, that might pique a lot of readers' interest. Okay, the next type of hook is a narrative description. You describe with sensory details a situation or scenario related to the topic. So this is basically like you're telling a brief anecdote or story related to the topic. So again, our topic here is religion. So here's an example of a narrative description. related to religion. I remember my heart and my spinning mind slowed down when I stepped into the church. The serene, kind expressions on the statues of Jesus and Mary felt as if they were inviting my heart to let out all of its sorrows. For the first time, I felt that I didn't need to be anything other than what I was. Okay. Another type of hook is a basic human truth. Something that is true about all people, no matter where they're from, what they look like, etc., and related to the topic. So religion. There's a lot of basic human truths related to religion. Here's an example of one. There has always been a division in the practice of religion between those who believe in blindly following rules and those who try to think for themselves and have their own personal relationship with God. The last type of hook could be a fact or statistic about the topic. So again, our topic is religion. Recent polls have shown that Americans are becoming less and less interested in organized religion, but more interested in spirituality. Okay? All right. So step 2, continued, is to choose one of these hooks. Okay? Again, our topic is religion. We want to think about which hook would hook the reader in, but also lead smoothly into our thesis statement. So, again, we have our quote, we have a definition, we have a question, a narrative description, a basic human truth, and a fact or statistic. So looking through all of these, I think for me, the one that would hook my reader in, but also lead smoothly into my thesis statement would be the basic human truth. So that's the one I'm going to choose as my hook. Okay? So next step is to write the context. That's what's in between your hook and your thesis statement. So what you want to do is look at your hook and your thesis statement. Okay? Ask yourself, how is my thesis statement different from my hook? So I think that the hook here is about the different approaches to religion, while the thesis is about these approaches specifically in To Kill a Mockingbird. Based on the difference, create a roadmap of how you will get from your hook to your thesis. So my roadmap is I'm going to go from a general description of these approaches to specifying that they're in TKAM to describing how they play out in TKAM. See how I'm going from more general to more specific, like that upside down triangle. Okay, so step 3, you write the context. You use your roadmap to guide you, okay? So what I'm going to have, so this is going to be my hook, then my context, then my thesis statement. See how this context, this division plays out in the classic American novel To Kill a Mockingbird? It's leading us from this very general hook about religion to like talking about how it plays out in To Kill a Mockingbird. And then my thesis gets even more specific about how it plays out in To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, and then the last step is just to put it all together. Okay, so we start broadly with our hook, a general hook about religion. We get more specific by introducing To Kill a Mockingbird into it as our context, and then we get even more specific with our thesis. And that's it.